Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And today, I'll be reading Cute Couple Stuff You Do by Ran, Writing Desk, and Asaria Mizuki Uncovered. So let's get into it. Midoriya. This boy was a very nervous cuddler. Whenever he was having a bad day, he would kind of hover around you until you wrapped him in a hug. Then, he would completely melt, cuddling up against you and burying his face into your hair. The first time this happened, you were basically ignoring him. You were trying to finish your schoolwork, while he stood over your shoulder, pacing a bit, but mostly hanging around you. You were starting to get a little annoyed, as he was all but breathing down your neck. "What do you want, Izuku?" You finally snapped, whirling to look at him. "Can't you see I'm trying to work?" He stared at you, mouth hanging open a bit. That was when you noticed how his hands were twisted together, and the glittering of tears in his eyes. He felt guilty immediately, and hopped to your feet, scurrying towards him, and wrapping him in a hug. "Oh, Izuku, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap," he said softly. He pulled you close, his arms tight around your shoulders. "It's alright, Mayan. I feel better already." Bakugou. You had not expected him to be very much of a cuddler, and he was not. Not really. But whenever you sat or stood next to each other after school, he would wrap a possessive arm around you. On dates, he would unabashedly hold your hand, and whenever someone commented on how cute you were as a couple, he would smile proudly and say, "I know." When it really was cuddling time, he would basically pull you into his lap and wrap his arms around your stomach, resting his chin on either your head or your shoulder, while you did homework, poked at your phone, or played a video game. It was comfortable and sweet, and just what you needed after a long, exhausting day. One day in particular, you had a splitting headache. It was a dull headache in the morning, and by the afternoon, you were extremely lucky to still be standing upright. Fortunately, Bakugou was very perceptive and noticed immediately. He canceled your date for the evening and took you straight home. When it turned out no one was there, he told you to change into something comfortable, made tea, and then cuddled with you on the couch until you finally fell asleep. Todoroki. Todoroki wasn't much of a cuddler. He'd hold your hand, even in public, and would not seem flustered at all by it. He was always very conscious of your personal space, and you were always very aware of his. As such, you often stuck with hand-holding and the occasional hug. Sometimes, though, he found the chance to cuddle. One day, you returned home from school to find that his dad and your parents were gone. You changed and got ready for the date you had. Taraki showed up at your doorstep just as you're about to step out and told you that the reservation you had made had been cancelled. With a sigh, you invited him in and went to have a cup of tea and thought of what to do instead. You decided on a movie at your place, as you still had not told his dad about your relationship. He agreed, and you sat together on the couch. Strangely enough, this was your first at-home date. It was a little awkward at first, but you quickly relaxed, settling comfortably on the couch. When Todoroki put his arm around your shoulders, you were surprised at first, but you quickly relaxed into it. You snuggled up against his side, moving so your back was leaning against him. He moved his arm to her waist and pulled you even closer, cuddling up against your uncomfortable quiet as the movie continued. Kirishima. Kiri was a very affectionate cuddler. Every chance he got, he would pull you into a hug or sit close to you so he could put an arm around you. You loved that, and would always seek to sit next to him as well. Kiri was also really good at back massages. After training, he would always sit down next to you and rub your back steadily for a few minutes. You had offered to do the same for him, but he declined, saying with a proud flick of his muscles that he was perfectly fine. You had laughed brightly, shoved him with your shoulder gently, and then you let him continue to calm down your screaming muscles. Kaminari. The day you went out with your friends one last time, before you left for your home in America, Kaminari refused to leave your side. He stayed latched to you the entire time, holding your hand or hovering nearby. At the restaurant you went to for lunch, a nice casual one, he sat with one arm around you almost the entire time. He never left your side, and honestly, he thought it was super sweet. Mina took pictures of the two of you whenever she could, telling you that she would send the pictures to you randomly. You forced her to take pictures of you with the others as well, saying you would need those just as much as you would need ones of you and your boyfriend. She agreed reluctantly. You knew that when you left, you wouldn't be able to see or touch Kaminari for a long time. You hoped that today would be enough, just to hold you out for however long you would be apart. Cyril would not mind light PDA, but for the most part, he would do most intimate stuff while the two of you are behind closed doors. So you did not expect him to be that cuddly. However, one day, when you were having an inside date, and the two of you were watching a movie, all of a sudden, you had found him sitting on your lap, his face buried into your chest, and you couldn't help but be surprised and chuckle at that. He was adorable. You began to stroke his hair, kissing his cheek, and he looked at you with a fond look. And just then, you decided to maybe change your mind. He may be cuddly, just a bit more than you thought,